Probably one of my most memorable residents that I was introduced to is Gersh. Gersh has an extremely positive attitude of life. He'll come up and he's so warm, he's so generous, he is so appreciative of the fact that he lives in a place like Woodbridge Manor.
I would like to thank a big, really big help from my heart and wish it to help me, to stay healthy, to can help me.
To have brain fitness classes and exercise classes and English classes, and all those are available. We have a busing program, which is great. Shopping, we take them 4 times a week.
Health providers to do eye examinations and ear examinations and really connect them to the resources they need.
We just value the fact that we have all that available for the residents here.
The history of IHO has been a history of making a community accessible to people who may otherwise not have that accessibility. And IHO became the nonprofit because it was the nonprofit for low-income housing in Irvine at the time.
For the last 40 years, Innovative Housing Opportunities has thrived as a nonprofit. And while IHO has been shaped and molded over the last 4 decades, it still serves the same mission on which it was founded.
So I'm an Army veteran of 8 years. I served during the first Gulf War. And I came to Orange County, had a really great job, made a lot of money with me and my son. And due to economics, I lost my job. And then I lost my house. So me and my son, we had no place to go.
A couple years back, maybe 5 years back, I was laid off. And things got pretty bad. You know, they went from bad to worse. I tried hard, land employment, to no avail. Nothing steady enough to keep the apartment.
Although every resident has their own story, few seem to better represent endurance through hardship and the spirit of IHO than the Gordon family.
We lived up in Apple Valley. My husband had a good job at a solar plant operator. He was injured 12 years ago, and he's not been able to work since. Our youngest daughter was about 11 months. Our son was 4. We ended up in the desert in a tent, 114-degree weather. We moved down here, motel for about 2 weeks, then our funds would run out, and we would live in our vehicle. And my husband and my son would sit in the front seat, and me and my daughter in the back seat. And we still made sure they got to school every day. He can't work. He can't work any longer. So 2 parents disability with 2 children, a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. It's hard. It's very hard. We've been homeless basically for 12 years. Off and on, motels in the vehicle, motels in the tent. And so that was our situation before we got here.
I think the hardest part for me was trying to keep my family safe. When you're out there in the streets, you tend to become very stigmatic toward people because you just don't know what their intentions are. And with my little girl, my wife, there's no games. There's no games. So trying to keep everybody safe, my son and I.
We had our favorite grocery store that we would go in every morning so the kids could brush their teeth and get their clothes ready.
Despite the unimaginable hardships, the Gordons remained hopeful, and last year, they got the call that they had been waiting for over a decade.
Before, we wouldn't let our children just not even go 5 feet from us. And so, but here we're able to loosen up a little bit and let them be free, Shane likes to ride a skateboard, so he rides a lot, and this, obviously, it's a good place to ride a skateboard. We were taking care of business every day, but it was like, what did you have to look forward to in the future if it continued like this? And if it wasn't for IHO, Rockwood Apartments, Anaheim Housing Authority, we'd be on the street still.
The way that they've developed since they've moved into Rockwood, they are happier. You can see it on their faces from the initial interview, just knowing that they have a permanent home.
This is a home. This is the only place even our children said, Mom and Dad, we finally have a place that we call home. And it's here at Rockwood.
When we walk in the door, we say home sweet home.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I'm honored that our family were picked to live here. And we feel for the rest of the families and individuals out there that they need this help. They need a helping hand.
What I love about IHO is because I used to be a former resident of affordable housing. I was a family of 7, and knowing what they provided for me and being able to bring my family up in affordable housing, feeling confident about being a mom and raising 5 children, that afforded me the opportunities to go back to school. So now here I am being able to give back as a property manager in affordable housing. So I think what IHO does is a wonderful thing, and it's just benefiting so many families, not just here at Rockwood, but abroad.
All I could do is shake hands, give hugs, and say thank you very much.
IHO's gone through several different phases to get to where we are now. We've been the developer that could only do management. We were the developer that built Woodbridge Manor 3. We were the developer that brought in a lot of cash that provided money to the rest of the community through some of our larger donation vehicles. We then became the company that partnered with people who had been doing a lot of building before us, and we still are that company. And now we've become the developer that develops on its own. So it's taken us many different journeys to get to where we are so that we can control the product that we have.
Over the last 40 years, IHO has been able to mold, shift, and adapt to change, but the battle is never won. And IHO will continue to evolve and be at the forefront of affordable housing innovation.
One of the things that's been required of IHO is to be able to realize and capitalize on this changing world. Nothing today is the same as it was 5 years ago.
Right now, financing for affordable housing is up in the air. We don't even know what it means anymore. We have no idea how we're going to provide housing to so many people who are in need.
Our financing markets are different. The way we have to go about building housing, it's different. The only thing that remains the same is we have lots of families that are in need.
Even in the face of uncertainty, IHO continues to develop new ways to go above and beyond for those who need it most.
My hopes for the future is that instead of having people need us to house them forever, that they'll see us as a place to go to find out how to be independent.
The Economic Self-Reliance Program is already in effect. It starts with financial education, doing a review of the residents and their individual needs to help them advance in their abilities to earn income.
Education is the very first step. It doesn't require a college degree, but it does require an understanding of careers and how to be economically independent. And we enjoy and relish being a partner in helping families and young people realize that.
But in order to help the family, as important as affordable housing is, it has to come with that piece.
And that's what IHO is providing now. That's our vision, is to make sure that the people who come into our housing feel comfortable leaving because they have the tools to be independent. It took us a long time to get our bearings, but once we did, then we started building and working with other people. The one thing that Pat brought to us was a sense of collaboration.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
When IHO looks at its future, it has to do so with a different set of eyes. There is no old roads to a new solution and to innovation. And so we're constantly changing and seeking those partnerships that will be innovative and use old resources in a very innovative and new way to help families that are in desperate need.
My son's back living with me. He's so happy. His grades are up. He's got his own bedroom. He's got his own bed.
It's been a great benefit for my son. He has a roof over his head as well as I do. I'd like to thank IHO for giving me this opportunity. Extending a helping hand to veterans. I don't know where me and a lot of veterans that live here would be right now.
I was able to get established in the neighborhood here, and my son's doing better. He's, the younger one's got a disability, and getting them out of the bad environment, getting them a roof over their head and some stability, that's the ticket. That's what got it going.
Thank you for being my parents, for both of you. You made me the happiest kid.
You don't make me cry.
Okay.
We need to come together because the future is bright if we have faith and we believe in tomorrow.
We have, I believe, over 500 doors that we manage right now, and I think our goal should be to double that within the next 5 to 10 years.
We started 40 years ago and became an overnight success after 35.
Thank you, IHO.
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 Thank you, IHO.